Hello everyone, welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. My name is Stefan. Thank you for coming to the channel. I know we were at this aquarium recently, but I wanted to film again because I am so proud and pleased with how each and every plant in this tank, in this small footprint of an aquarium, is doing right now. They are just doing so fantastic. I've never been so lucky, so across the board. First of all, this is, for those that are unacquainted, a UNS 25T, so it's about a 6 gallon, I think, maybe 7, somewhere between 5 and 7 gallons, I forget. And the key feature is it's tall, and so the footprint is kind of funky that way, and it was tricky to get going, but man, is it going. So imagine a 5-gallon aquarium, a classic 5-gallon horizontal tank set on its side, and you basically have the footprint of this nano fish tank. So, I mean, the dwarf hairgrass looks really good. Maybe not A+ good. I see a little moss in there, maybe some hair algae, easy to remove with my tweezers, but all the grass is green. Could use a trim, but we're not there yet. This is Blixa japonica. I mean, look at that plant. How cool is that? And it's on either side. A smaller specimen there, but just as healthy. And then the bucephalandra. Oh my gosh, it took forever for this plant to get that purple, red, pink, crimson hue. You can see the pink ram's horn snail offsetting sort of the color so wonderfully. That magenta, I'm not even sure how to describe that one combination of color in all of these leaves. And at this point, I'm not even 100% sure which species of bucephalandra this is. There are more than one in here. The dominant species looks like one of the Godzilla or a Kadang perhaps, but I could be wrong. You know, I love plants and I spend a lot of time with them, but I do get confused, and I haven't kept copious notes on all of my plants when I purchase them, and here's the result. I'm just ignorant of exactly what this fabulous species, this representation of the species is. I do know the Blixa and the dwarf hairgrass, and I do know this is bucephalandra. And so to the left, right, back, a really fine example of Ludwigia super red. Still hasn't reached the top because, as I said, I just filmed this tank not that long ago, and I did a massive trim, but it's growing really nice with not the most red of the super red potential, but more than adequate, and the leaves are all healthy and good, so I'm very pleased. And then of course the common Bacopa monere, and it hasn't reached the top either, but top to bottom, beautiful leaf structure. And then a Rotala, a common species, I'm not sure which one either. I want to say just an SP like Grandifolia or Atra, something like that. But what a wonderful combination of pink, orange, green, yellow, all in there. Another just peacock almost variation in colors. And I'm getting a lot of that in the plants I'm showing you in here. And then on the magnetic rack here, we have this intense green Christmas moss, and perhaps willow moss. I know it isn't Java moss, and it's on the magnetic rack, which, as I say every time I show this contraption, you get flow top and bottom all around. You're closer to the light. You're not stuck down in here where algae can easily upset your moss. And if you're growing it to sell, get yourself a bunch of these and put them all over the place, because everywhere I have them, I'm getting moss like this, and I can pull half of that off and it'll look just like that in another 2 weeks, if not less. The fish and the other creatures, I've got some Santa Maria endlers, and that's those little beauties there. A gorgeous fish, a little bit on the exotic for an endler. Sometimes they're even expensive, but they breed just like any other endler, and I've already got issues with too many fry in here. But they're pretty, and I like them as a dither because sometimes these glorious, underrated, and you can see them all chasing the female, the endlers there, but the ember tetras sometimes can get a little shy and timid, so I wanted some activity near the top of the tank, and so I threw a couple endlers in here. There's also 3 autocinkless catfish in here, and I already talked about the ram's horns. I try to cull for mostly the colorful ram's horns with either the pink or red foot and a pink or red shell. That one clearly, actually wait, yeah, no, that's a ram's horn. There's also some neorites in here, the little horn neorites, and maybe even a mystery snail. Sometimes I forget. I do run CO2 in this tank, and this is a twin star light. I actually had this light much closer to the glass, literally sitting on it like that, so instead of the feet up like this, I had it resting. And when I did a water change, I think I went too close to the top, and it affected the quality of the LEDs, and I'm getting a flicker. But the plants don't seem to be responding in a negative way, so I'm happy about that. But I'm hoping I don't have to replace this light. I'm hoping that slight flicker is an anomaly, or maybe only happens during the turn up and turn on phase. We shall see. What else do I have in this aquarium? There's always one other thing, right? Oh, duh. In this fish tank, and there's an autocinkless, there are at least a half dozen of these super rare albino pygmy coreodoras. I see one gallivanting in the back, and I think in the last video they were all out just going great guns, and I even said that was somewhat of a rarity, and sure as shit, excuse my French, I can't find one to save my life. I think that might be, you know, that's a mystery snail, or, yeah, no, that's a snail right there, isn't it? Yeah, you see the gold mystery snail. But if you're really curious and you're willing to forgive me for not having the star, one of the stars of the show, make an appearance during this film, you can always go back to the other video, the most recent video of this aquarium, and you will see the very rare albino pygmy coreodoras just gallivanting all about the tank. They're super small, even smaller than the standard version. And I should stop talking about a fish that I can't show you. That seems like it would be in the top 5 things you don't do when you're making a YouTube video. As I've said before, working in this footprint was really tough for the longest time, because you're always getting your hands wetter than normal up to your elbows to get down in there, and you're also going to have a hard time starting your plants off to a gangbuster start, because the light has to travel so much further down. The only reason I have it up like this is because of that LED issue, and it's only been a few days. I might have to bring it back down now that there is more space between the water and the top of the glass. But getting light down to things like hair grass and Blixa japonica, and you know what? For all the talk of Bucephalandra being an epiphyte and a low light plant, in my experience, medium light, and even in some cases highlight, provided you have flow, and flow is another good thing for it, it benefits. It's not the same as a Anubias, or certain, the vast majority of Anubias plants, which are indeed low light and can do very, very well in the most compromised of lights. I don't find that the case to be for bucephalandra, which seems to, I mean, look at it. And there's nothing blocking the light. I don't have floating plants in here. I did have a little bit of Brazilian pennywort at one time. It grew so fast though, I just stopped because I was literally cutting it in half every week, which is fine, and I would bring that to my LFS, but I haven't been driving to my LFS. It's winter time in Chicago, and a lot going on. Not all of it good, to be honest with you folks, but I've been dealing with a lot of different things, and so I don't want to be making long trips just to bring a baggie of plants to my guys, but that'll resume soon enough. If you have any questions or want to ask about the fish or plants or anything else I'm doing, oh, by the way, this one lovely crypt is the balancea. It's the center plant, and I didn't even mention it. It's a great option for like a sword plant or something, this crypticorn, because I mean, well, look at it. It does a lot of the things a sword plant is purchased to do, but you get that very exotic texture and color in the leaves, and you can cut all these long leaves, and rest assured you're going to get new ones pretty quick. So it's easy to maintain. It can actually become unruly if you don't maintain it. But as I was saying, if you have any questions or comments, by all means hit me up. And as always, folks, keep your hands in the tank, albeit carefully, and ciao for now.